Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to What They Teach You in High School. Hey, today we are talking about political parties in the United States of America. And if you remember one thing about political parties, the sole purpose for their existence is to win, win, win. Welcome back to What They Teach You in High School. So today we're going to talk about the 6 main functions of political parties. And next week we're going to take a look at both the Republican Party and the Democrat Party and how they came to be what they are today. But as for today, we're going to look at the 6 main functions of political parties in the United States system. So let's get into it. So the 2 major parties in the political system are the Republican Party, also known as the Grand Ole Party or the GOP, and they're run by the Republican National Committee in Washington, D.C., and then the Democrats, and they don't have a fun nickname, but they do have a Democratic National Committee, or DNC, and we're going to use those terms interchangeably throughout the conversation today. So the first thing that political parties do is they recruit candidates and they support campaigns. And you might be like, man, they've done a real doozy of a job picking political candidates recently. I just love every single one that they've ever put up for election. Nonetheless, it's the political parties that are often the gatekeepers that manage whether somebody can run for office in an election's primary, Republican or Democrat. Additionally, political parties raise funds for these campaigns. And in 2022, the Republican National Committee actually raised over $250 million, while the Democratic National Committee raised just around $220 million in 2022 for political campaigns. And honestly, that's got to make you wonder who's giving these people their money. The answer to that question is probably voters and organizations, but probably most importantly, it's going to be interest groups. And we're going to talk about interest groups in a later video, so let's not get ahead of ourselves, people. The second thing that political parties do is they organize elections and they inform voters on the issues. And you might think, wait a second, I thought senior citizens were the ones who managed elections, and you'd basically be right, but they're also highly involved in their political parties. Additionally, political parties are informing voters on the issues, and political parties are spending tons and tons of that $250,000 they raised testing and checking to see what the public wants to hear about, and then framing their arguments around the issues that they think are important, aligned with the opinions that they have around how the government should be run. The third thing that the party system does is they actually organize our governments. All of the individuals in leadership positions within the Congress are also very, very well connected to their political parties. In fact, most of them have a large obligation to be going out and raising money on behalf of the political party so that the political party can keep running and keep winning elections and keep those people in their powerful positions. The fourth thing that political parties do is they attempt to bring in a diversity of opinions and interests that align with their general philosophy on how the government should be run in order to organize these groups into a single voice who are looking to vote for a specific candidate. And that gets us into the camping world where all of the political parties talk about the idea of having a big tent. And really what that big tent refers to is just making sure that there's room for lots of different ideas and thoughts and people in this tent that we call the Republican or Democratic Party. And they want to make sure that they can loop in as many varied interests without compromising their principles or their party platform in order to gather enough people to win the next election. The fifth objective of the political parties is actually to function as a stalwart when the party in power is the opposition. Does that make sense? If that didn't make sense, let me lay it out like this. Essentially, remember, we've got a House of Representatives, we have a Senate, and then we have the presidency. And the goal of the political parties is to make sure that their party has the majority in both the House, the Senate, and they have access to the White House. This allows them to push through legislation that the political party has decided is the most important priority for the people. But remember, we've got our 2 teams, the Republicans and the Democrats. So one of those parties will not have the power. And in the case where they don't have the power, they use all the tools of government to try and stop or obfuscate the party in power from getting their agenda passed. When the political party in power proves, that was a nice alliteration, when the political party in power proves that they no longer have the ability to govern, that's when the people decide that they're going to vote for the opposite party because the party in power didn't do the things that they wanted them to do. And so let's give the other guys a shot. And that's why we see typically the pendulum swing between Republicans and Democrats, especially when it relates to our presidential elections. Finally, we'll finish where we started. The main objective and the sole purpose of political parties is to win elections. If you can't win an election, then you don't have the power to get your priorities passed. And political parties are all about getting their priorities passed peacefully, if possible. Let's be honest, they don't actually care that much about peace. What they want is their priorities to be passed in a prompt manner. Precisely. So there you have it, folks. There are the 6 priorities of political parties in the United States of America. Like I said, next week, we're going to take a look at the Republican and Democratic Party and learn about their history and how they got to be the political parties that we know and love or hate today. As always, like, subscribe, hit the little bell button so you know I'm coming next time. Please, please, please be sharing these with your family, with your friends, and with your high school social studies teacher. This one's coming out on Thanksgiving morning. I bet everyone would love to gather around the TV and watch this in anticipation of the Lions football game coming on at noon. Anyway, have a great day. Happy Thanksgiving. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you next time on What They Teach in High School. Peace.